Okay, here we are. We're take the fear out of the gear. We're here with Ed from Haken Audio, and he's going to run us through some different instruments and the new overlays you talked to us about yesterday.
Sure, I'd be happy to. We'll start off with the Continuum. Now I'm just dialing up a different preset here, but actually, so the Continuum, continuous controller, polyphonic, if you're not familiar with it, very sensitive. We've been developing these for like 25 years now, and supporting them and coming up with firmware, new things. So we really believe in the, trying to make longevity.
And it's the expression you can get from it as well,
isn't it? The expression is amazing. So, like on this particular preset, what it is mapped out sort of the same size as a traditional keyboard in terms of pitch range, but it's completely continuous. So you can start and it's polyphonic. And of course, being completely free in pitch, playing polyphonically can be a real challenge because every single note can drift around. We do have rounding that's set up for that if you want to use it. So and when I play, oh sorry, go ahead.
Simon, I was going to say, so it's got polyphonic aftertouch, so you've got different, when you play different notes, you've got different velocities or?
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I go back to that sound, so, and if I do another note, every single note's completely independent.
That's
and
fantastic.
Also the way that the surface works, it doesn't matter how big your finger is, it's going to pick the center point of that depression.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it recognizes two different notes, which means you can play very fine or very big.
Oh, wow.
It's still a single note, yeah.
That
It
is
looks
amazing.
at the depression, finds the center, and that's where your pitch is. So I can see. So it's even good for bovines who have hoofs, don't have fingers.
So does the sound change? I know on some does it change when you go?
Yes, it can change.
You can program that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually a rather subtle effect. Like on this one, it's really hard to tell, but there's a very slight timbre shift.
Right.
Other ones we have a more dynamic change with it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember those particular presets because. But I can show you a preset here. So this one, we were talking about playing polyphonically, and the challenge is we have a rounding system in there where you can play notes and it will gradually or quickly shift in pitch.
Oh, okay.
Towards that pitch. So in something that you want to play polyphonically, like this choir preset, you typically want to play in perfect, in relatively good pitch. It's hard. But I can still do vibrato on that. And that's all because what it does is it takes its time to round the pitch. If you wanted to make that completely stepped, or now, but I can get that same, and you can see the Y makes a slight form and change.
Oh, you can definitely hear the change, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. And that can be dramatic.
And this obviously, I think we said yesterday, it's got the same, your Haken Audio sound engine, the same as the Osmos.
Same as the Osmos, same as the other products that we have here, yeah.
And they all just sound amazing.
Yeah. And what's interesting about that is the Osmos, every single time that we put the EaganMatrix into one of these products, or with the Osmos, it's the same sound engine, but it is programmed differently. The presets are different because every single control surface reacts in a different way.
mode. Yeah,
So it's got to be customized. I think in this one, so you can get octave shifts now.
Oh, yeah, it's just amazing. I love it, absolutely love it.
Here's a preset that I really like. So this one, so you know the idea that you play like you use two hands to create a monophonic line. Like that's the same with like a violin player, you know, uses a bow to create the timbre and also the amplitude of the sound. And then the other hand is used just for pitch mainly, or plucking or things. In this one, I've done a similar thing where I've divided up the surface, and you don't hear anything over here, you don't hear anything over here, because it requires a combination of both hands to make the sound. So you can play here, and now I'm getting sound, which is this pitch. The volume is controlled over here. And that allows me to have better control over the volume for the whole thing and play quicker, because I don't have to dig into the surface so much. Because if you dig into the surface, you'll get a little bit more resistance. And so doing it this way, get timbre shifts here and harmonics. Another preset I have here, this one is similar, where you do get sound over here. But now this is a performance area for a delay.
Oh,
unit.
okay. Yeah, cool.
I can capture. Or do things. And the way that works is that if you start your finger press here in this zone, it will stay relative to that zone.
Oh, okay.
Even if you leave the zone, because the zone ends right here.
Okay.
Okay. But if I move up, I can get those shorter carpless strong type.
That's amazing. Oh, so impressed. The sounds are just...
Yeah, it's all built in. Like over here I have this editor running and I'm using it to select patches, but that doesn't need to be running at the same time.
Did you want to talk about the overlays? Because you were saying this was a new thing, overlays.
Yeah, so what's happened, if you want to take a look at the screen, like most people who've programmed, they've found that the EaganMatrix module itself is like the editor, it's a little tricky to navigate. I mean, the sound engine is really vast, but you know, if something's going to be complex, it's going to be, you know, tricky to drive sometimes. So I don't find it that complex, but of course I wrote it, so I mean, it's simple. So what we have is we're developing these things called overlays, and overlays are relevant to the EaganMatrix engines, which means they're also applicable to the Osmos.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And the way overlays work is it's similar to the way that like Reactor has ensembles.
Right,
so like ensembles are like these, someone's curated a particular set of controls in order to work with, and it steers sounds into a particular direction. And we're doing a similar thing to that. We call them overlays. And so overlays, as I show you one. What you do is you have one particular preset loaded in the Continuum, and you don't need to change anything in the Continuum. You work completely within the overlay.
Right.
And in the overlay, it's curated controls that are featured if you want to go into a particular sound design direction. So in this one, it's FM synth, and I have FM control. Let's bring this up. So I have a single oscillator, a carrier, and a modulator.
Right.
I can change the tone of it. Bring up the modulator and the frequency. So a subtractive FM synthesizer in sort of a more familiar form factor that people would understand.
So once, if you've got it set up on your overlay, can you then put that across to the Continuum?
You could,
and save it as a preset. So
you could save it as a preset, So if I save this particular preset now, and so if I did a series of my FM patches, let's say I have 16 of them available to me, and I like them, you could do that, and they would be completely saved within the system. You wouldn't need to run the overlay, much like you don't need to run the EaganMatrix at the same time. But the real idea is for people who want to play around, and now it has its own preset system in here. So that's all FM synthesis through that ratio overlay, but playing that ratio preset that's in the Continuum.
And how many overlays or presets have you done so far? Or is it just something that's evolving?
It's evolving. Yeah. It's still at the beginning. I've got the ratio preset. We've also have an emulation of the based on the Genie oscillator.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And
then there's a few more. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tubes there, haven't we? We've got some tubes
there.
there.
Tubes, yeah. They're not really running right now for some reason. So we have the Genie oscillator is based on the oscillator developed by George Genie.
Oh, okay.
And it's a phase modulation resonance oscillator.
Oh, wow.
And we have that set up in here, and then it's available in the EaganMatrix, but I pulled out those particular oscillators so that you can just use it in an overlay.
And I know
you asked how many there were, but there's really 4 or 5 at this point.
Right, there's more coming.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I know we spoke about the Osmos. Did you say that Expressive E, we're going to try and bring that into the operating system a bit more? On the Osmos, the overlays, or
they absolutely plan to do that. Yeah. And the nice thing with Expressive E is that they're very proactive. Of course, they want to develop their own presets. They took the EaganMatrix was first in there. They took those a lot of the presets that we did and then put their own spin on them.
Oh, okay.
Because again, it's like a keyboard surface. It's different from this continuous surface.
Yeah.
So there's a number of our presets modified in there, and they came up with their own original ones.
Oh, fantastic.
And we'll do the same cross pollination here too, where they'll take our overlays and work with them possibly, but they really like to develop their own overlays too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So that's the Continuum, and then you've got your Eurorack modules here.
Yeah.
Because is this one of the newest things you've done, the Eurorack modules?
The Eurorack modules have been around for a number of years.
Oh, okay.
So if we look at the lineage, we started with the Continuum.
Yeah.
Then we came out with the Continuum Mini, which is the small version of it. Let's get this going here. So we have the same sound engine, but again, presets that have been changed to work within the Mini.
Yeah.
But this one is like the same sort of idea with a continuous surface. So then the second thing that we have was the Continuum Mini. Then we have the EaganMatrix module in Eurorack format. It's this sound engine put into Eurorack format. So I can do things like play this module through MIDI. So here I'm just controlling it classically with an arpeggiator.
And obviously you could do the same thing with CV as well.
That's right.
Yeah,
So here I've got CV connected through my Continuum Mini and the micro CV, which is the current controller that we have that converts the signal, the performance control from the Mini or the Continuum into it converts it into control voltages.
Right. Okay.
And so Eviton makes the micro CVC. We also have a full rack version here that also works, and then we'll be releasing these expanded Eurorack modules on our own, which are the same CVC, and this will give you the same number of controls in a Eurorack format, and also a double version as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. But what's interesting here is you can control this by MIDI. You can also control it by CV. So I have, we could listen to that sound here again, but now I'm actually playing that one module. Yeah.
And is this a touch strip you can use with the module as well?
That's the behringer, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can control, well, for instance, if I, let's go, say I wanted to modify the delay time of that module, I could hook up the touch strip. Let me grab a cable. Okay, so now that's
brilliant.
under CV control.
Oh,
that could also be controlled by a one of these string units that we got. Make sure that's not inverted. Yeah, so there we go.
Oh, wow. Well, I've never seen one of those before.
String things?
No.
Oh, they're from England. Nervous Squirrel.
Oh, okay.
Bring the visual into Eurorack performance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
We'll have to look into those. Yeah,
I really love those as controllers. I love these behringer. These are very, very high resolution. Really, really quite nice and lovely. So, yeah.
Well.
Is that enough for you, Solomon?
That's absolutely plenty. So, well, thanks, Ed. Thanks for spending some time with us and giving us all your knowledge and everything. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And thanks to Haken Audio, a fantastic platform.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for your interest.